Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Rapid City Police say a suspect connected to a shooting that happened at the Central States Fairgrounds Sunday morning is dead.
Investigators identified the suspect as 58-year-old John Troy Lee of Rapid City. Oglala Sioux tribal officials say they later located Lee on the southwest part of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation after they received tips from residents.
Officials say Lee shot at officers when they approached him. One officer was shot and injured. Lee was killed at the scene.
The shooting victim from Sunday morning's encounter remains in the hospital. Authorities say there is no ongoing threat to the public. A full investigation is still underway.
A pickup versus UTV crash that happened in Brookings County sent 3 people to the hospital Sunday morning.
The Brookings County Sheriff says it happened around 1 a.m. northwest of White. The driver of the pickup told deputies the 2 vehicles were approaching each other on opposite sides of the road.
He says he tried to avoid a collision, but the 2 crashed into each other. The UTV went into the ditch and all 3 occupants were taken to the hospital.
The pickup driver and passenger were not hurt.
The defense has rested in the murder trial of Lamont Burks Jr. inside the Minnehaha County Courthouse.
Burks and another man are accused of opening fire at Dunham Park on August 25, 2024, killing 29-year-old Joshua Allen Jr. and injuring 3 others. The trial will resume this morning with final jury instructions and closing arguments.
KELOLAND.com's Michael Dorn has more details on the case online.
Well, now let's get a check on our weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Summer. Good morning, everybody. We are following showers, thunderstorms this morning across east central South Dakota. Moving to the east, slightly to the southeast, so these will be affecting parts of west central Minnesota as we go through the morning. We'll see if anything redevelops as we get into the later part of the afternoon. If that were to happen, I think that will happen along and east of Interstate 29. We'll call it around the 20, maybe 30% chance for redeveloping showers and thunderstorms after 4 o'clock. Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Mitchell's first ever beer festival took place on Saturday at the Palace City Brewing Company.
The festival was the company's first beer festival. Despite that, they expected over 250 people. They're also hoping to make it an annual tradition.
We're already thinking about it. We've already kind of picked a date. We're trying to get a date that works for some other breweries that really wanted to participate this time, but couldn't because they had things going on in Iowa or Nebraska.
Palace City Brewing is located in downtown Mitchell in a restored warehouse along the railroad tracks.
Hundreds of cancer survivors gathered in Sioux Falls on Sunday to mark National Cancer Survivors Day.
One person at the event was celebrating 16 years of being cancer-free.
The nurses are so caring, the doctors were so wonderful, and especially with their emphasis to be an institute that doesn't just treat the cancer but takes in the whole family and the whole emotional side of things, the social side of things.
Binkley and other guests signed a leaf to go on the survivor tree, enjoyed lunch with loved ones, and met fellow survivors.
KELOLAND News wants your help gathering items for 2 local nonprofits.
We're holding a drive on Friday for the Abbott House and Foster Network. Both organizations help foster kids. From new tennis shoes to shampoo and conditioner, we're collecting a variety of items.
You can head to KELOLAND.com for the full list. The drive will help fill the needs of kids living in foster care.
I would just say Abbott House makes a huge impact in South Dakota for kids who have experienced trauma. They really try hard to focus on creating safe environments where kids can heal and grow and just kind of recover from whatever they've experienced in their lives.
You can drive up to the front of the station along Phillips Avenue from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday. We'll have staff ready to help you out with dropping off your donation.
Let's look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get another Check Your Weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather forecast this afternoon. Well, it looks like a pretty hot day. Sioux Falls, we're going to get close to 91 this afternoon. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather in our far eastern counties, and that's because a couple of storms could develop. We've been watching some storms this morning west and southwest of Watertown. And again, the main thought right now, it's still a marginal risk of severe weather. So isolated severe thunderstorms after 4. Main risk would be hail and some gusty winds out of these storms. But even down to Sioux Falls, it's possible a couple of those things could fire up. So just kind of be aware of that in the forecast as we go into the early evening hours here north of Sioux Falls. Now tomorrow, there's a better chance we're going to have some more storms around. The Storm Prediction Center has put out this enhanced risk of severe weather from north central South Dakota into North Dakota. So that means more organized severe weather is in the forecast, and that would start Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night. Some of those storms could feature, again, hail, wind, and even the possibility of tornadoes. The tornado risk is highest up into North Dakota. As we track the weather patterns tomorrow, again, you'll see this warm front on the way. That's really going to develop some hot weather in the forecast. A lot of 90s, close to 100 degrees in south central South Dakota. So we definitely have a lot of starch here for storms, but we're also capped much of the day. In other words, we're going to have a lid over top of the atmosphere in the south and the southeast that'll likely mitigate some of these storms until probably after sunset. So that's where it gets a little tricky here because we're looking at a busy 10 o'clock weather map here Tuesday evening toward midnight. And so anticipate that's probably the most favorable time for storms. It'll be a little bit later on in the evening. 80s to low 90s out there for today. Your KETHLAND Live Doppler HD forecast. 90 on Wednesday. That's another hot day, but the cold front's coming on in. Drier air is coming in from the west. That's going to really move the forecast into a cooler mode as we go toward the weekend. Aberdeen, we're going to switch gears into some 70s later in the week. But please keep an eye on the weather tomorrow. Tomorrow night, that could get kind of rough in the north central and parts of the northeast. Pierre also will be susceptible to some of these storms tomorrow. High of 98, and then it cools off a lot. Not exactly a wet pattern, though, in the extended forecast. This drier northwest wind will keep a lot of the days a little bit drier. Rapid City, too, it's going to cool off. 97 tomorrow, but then 76 on Wednesday and Thursday. More details online at KETHLAND.com.